What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this special breaking news presentation from your friends at the Simply Reliable Studios. I, of course, am the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams, joined by the He-Man, James Hebert, and Mr. Reliable, Walter Cruz. Good to see everybody here today. It's no secret at this point, the news has gone around since early this morning, probably since about noon East Coast time, 9 o'clock here on the West Coast. Samantha Irvin leaving WWE from all intents and purposes, from what I've been able to read and gather and research, it's an amicable split. It looks like it's just her contract expired. And so now she's not re-signing with them. Of course, within the last few weeks, her fiancé, Trevor Mann, better known as Ricochet, debuted in AEW. He's been starting to build a reputation for him over there, going back to kind of some of the stuff that brought him to the dance on the indies. So the $1,000,000 question is, why did Samantha leave? Was there an opportunity to re-sign? And do we all feel that she's going to end up in AEW alongside her fiance, the ever popular stand by your man, so to speak? Walter, we'll go ahead and we'll go to you first. Thank you for joining me here for this. We don't have a shenanigans this week, so when this broke, it was like we got to address this. We can't wait 2 weeks to talk about this. Seriously.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw this. At first, when I saw Raw, I thought it was like a joke, and like maybe she wasn't leaving WWE totally, and it was just Raw she was leaving, and then they were gonna do something else. But apparently, at least she wasn't fired. That's the good thing. Like you said, it's amicable, so we'll see what her future holds. I mean, she is a good singer, so maybe she's just working on her singing career, and if not, she could go to AEW. But I would actually like her to mix it up and go to some real sports stuff announcing, like go to MMA, go to fighting, do different things and bring excitement. Uh, it would be cool if the UFC hired her and there was a woman on that team. There's never been that in the UFC. Imagine a
Yeah.
woman with them and how excited they get when people get knocked out or hurt. Or so it'd be kind of cool to see the dynamic with a female there. She can probably be on the ones that aren't the pay-per-view, the free ones that they give out on UFC.
The
I
fight
forget.
night?
Yeah, fight night. Thank you. I
Yeah.
couldn't think of the names, but yeah, and that'd be cool to see. But maybe she's working on her singing career. But if she's going to AEW and it's a stand by her man thing, you can do nothing but respect it. Like, who are we to judge? It's like it's her life. We're just fans of it. But that shows how popular she is and how much. Like, none of this news. We weren't going crazy when Lillian Garcia quit. When Justin Roberts, I don't know if he quit or terminated or didn't resign. When any other announcer leaves, it's not a big deal like that. It's a big deal when Samantha leaves. So that just tells you how popular she actually was, and I credit her to what she did in WWE. I know one person would be disappointed is Chelsea Green. Like, no one's gonna say her name like that now.
Mm.
Yeah, Alicia Taylor has been trying her damnedest on SmackDown, but she can't get it right.
Yeah.
James, what are your thoughts on this?
There's a couple things I want to say. Firstly, um, I do. There's a couple reasons. I'm not taking away because everything you said is right that she is super popular, but I do think that a lot of it is because of social media being a thing. I don't think. I don't think it's fair to compare Lillian and Justin leaving the WWE to this because if they had social media, I guarantee you it would have been the same type of blow up. It just now that social media is so popular, everybody has a phone or a computer or whatever, they have that. That's not taking away anything that Samantha did because she still has one of the greatest calls in announcing history as far as wrestling goes with Cody winning the WWE title. But and quite frankly, she's a tremendous ring announcer. She might be the best in the business, quite honestly, in the wrestling side. But
Ever or now?
I'd say now. And I mean, you to say forever. I mean, that's overlooking Howard Finkel. That's overlooking Tony Chimmel. That's overlooking.
That's why I asked you to
You know what I mean?
clarify,
Like,
because that's a bold statement.
that's what I'm saying. Like right now, she's the best in the business. She's like, if she's not number one, then Justin is, but they're like neck and neck. You know, but that's also because Justin's been doing it for years. My only worry is that, and as much as I agree with what Walter said, my worry is she's going to then fight the battles of Ricochet like she's been doing on social media. I mentioned this with JJ before we came on the air tonight. If you've seen the way that guys like Ricochet have been acting on social media, guys like Dax Harwood have been acting on social media, and even like fucking Tony Khan has been acting on social media. Man, has it gotten worse? It's not gotten better. It feels very dystopian when you criticize fans the way they go at these fans so much, and especially when Samantha does and Ricochet does, because we were rooting for him. And, you know, here she is, you know, joining in Ricochet's fucking high school battles on social media. I don't want to see her do that. I really hope, and I know this is a long shot and it's probably not going to happen in Tony's freaking watch, but I really hope she knows, like other people before her, like Hangman Page, who I think has avoided social media, and other people before who just don't use social media, like Cash Wheeler. Ironic that Dex doesn't listen to Cash. To not ruin your legacy by going on social media and arguing with every Tom, Dick, and Harry on social media, regardless of how big or small of a following they are. It's like, let the fans be the fans. Like, I'm so sick of this. It feels so dystopian. That's my biggest worry with her going to AEW, is she's eventually going to fall into that Tony Khan cycle, because Ricochet has already followed suit. So, but yeah, you know, and Big G, if Ricochet said that she isn't going to AEW, I'm going to wait until AEW announces it one way or the other, because I don't trust the way Ricochet's been acting on social media. I can't trust a goddamn thing he says anymore at this point, to be quite honest with you.
That's fair. I mean, you know, Ricochet could be trying to fave us.
Yeah.
Could be trying to work us.
Yeah.
But to Big G's point, she is a singer. She's a flautist. You know, so she could be looking to get a music career going. She's attractive enough. She could be trying to venture into entertainment as far as acting goes.
Yep. Modeling, whatever.
You know,
yeah.
I was going to say, a lot of people are already trying to throw shade, saying, "Up, OnlyFans, here she comes." It's always an option if she wants to go that route. I couldn't see Samantha doing that. I feel like she's a little bit more tasteful than that. Yeah. But if she wants to go that route and go the Paige Van Zandt, the Mandy Rose, the Lacey Evans route, by all means.
Yep.
It's her life. It's her prerogative. As long as Trevor Ricochet is okay with it, who are we to judge?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I think the bottom line here, though, is that the options and the doors are wide open for Samantha. And I was a Samantha hater for the longest time. The growl of her voice irritated me at first. And then you start to catch all these other people that are biting her style now, to the point where Alicia Taylor on SmackDown's doing her shit.
Yep.
Like, You can't even have a distinctive voice between Raw and SmackDown. It
They need to
sounds the same.
they need to
Yeah.
learn to stick to their stick.
Right? Thank you, Walter.
Yeah, exactly. The whole reason Samantha Irvin got such a fan base is because she sounded so fucking unique. Like that's the thing.
It
You know?
was unique, but it was also, I don't know, it was a little off-putting at first because for for everything that people try to say about how Aubrey Edwards tries to take the attention away from the wrestlers with her oversells and her facial expressions in the ring, I kind of felt like that's what Samantha was doing with her announcements at first. At least when I was first wading back in the waters and coming back into the fandom. It's like I felt it was so over the top that it took away from the simplicity of the match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's just crazy. And to Walter's point, I don't remember this type of stink being raised when Justin Roberts left, Tony Chimmel left, Lillian Garcia left. A little bit when Fink left and
Mm.
stepped down because he was getting up there in age and Lillian and them started to take over his spot. There was a little bit of stink because Howard Finkel was the voice of the World Wrestling Federation. More than Gorilla, more than Bobby, more than Jesse, more than JR and the King. He was the voice at every show. All those names rotated. You never knew who you were going to get on commentary. Fink
Hmm.
was the standard.
It was Fink in the and announcing in the ring, and Mean Gene in backstage. It was like those two were just it.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, and to Arlene's point, we need to stop trying to blame Ricochet for her departure. It's like I said at the top of the broadcast, I really think it's as simple as her contract expired and maybe she wants to not be on the road away from her husband all the time. Tony Khan, for all his flaws, and let's be real, there's a number of them. But for all his flaws, Tony Khan seems to only book people 2 days a week. There's the live Dynamite, and then there's the Collision taping, which seems to be on Thursdays now. Thursdays or Fridays. So they've only got 2 days a week. Whereas the WWE for the longest time had 2 off days a week, and you were on the road for 5 days. So that gives Ricochet more time at home with her.
Yeah.
Maybe she's doing this because her biological clock is starting to tick, and if they want to have kids together, time's a wasting.
Yeah.
I mean, and Pop loves her growl. I'm glad to see Pop chiming in here, but it's one of those things I think where we just need to be accepting. We need to
Yeah.
not blame anybody, like I said, like Arlene said. It would be different if it was a Mandy Rose situation
Yes. Exactly. Yep.
where she was being terminated for trying to branch out and do other things. I think it was Walter that mentioned the UFC thing. With Endeavor having WWE and UFC under their umbrella, and even TNA, people forget they're a part of the Endeavor brand too.
Hmm.
Who's to say she can't transition to one of those other two companies? TNA runs an even lighter schedule than AEW. They only work like 3 days a month. They do their pay-per-views once a month. The day after the pay-per-view, they usually do a TV taping, and then maybe one other weekend over the course of the month, they'll do a 2-day taping. That's 4 out of 30 days
Wow.
that she'd have to work. And UFC, God, how long has Bruce Buffer been doing the in-ring announcements?
Yeah.
You got to figure he's probably getting towards the end of his career too. Granted, UFC does shows once a month, maybe twice a month.
Yeah, man.
Starting to seem like UFC does shows almost as much as WWE did when it was the Raw SmackDown era, and you'd get one
Dude.
of each pay-per-view a month.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's neither here nor there. That's still only 2 days a month.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
mean, maybe Bruce Buffer's getting towards the end of his career, and she's looking to take that spot,
Mm.
which is an even lighter schedule. Like I said, twice a month. Even if you count in the fight nights, maybe 3 times a month.
Yeah. Like if he does a fight night, which is like a
Yeah.
rare occasion. I
Yeah.
think he used to do them when they were on Fox. And I think he
But
did
even
a few of
Spike,
them after that. But yeah.
and even on Spike, I think he did them when they were doing the Ultimate Fighter competitions.
Yeah, they use the other guy now, the ball guy. I can't think of his name, but they use him for like the fight nights and the ones that are not the big time pay-per-views. I can't think of his name though.
I mean, hey, you never know.
Yeah.
She might go to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling and start announcing for them. They already got the best television announcer with Mauro Ranallo. So there is
Hey.
that.
And JJ made the point earlier. It's amicable. It's not like she could never return. I'm sure that door is always open.
Yeah, exactly. You know, speaking the door being open, there's rumors and reports that Lillian Garcia is backstage at Raw tonight. Like she's supposed to be doing the job this evening because of Samantha's departure. Now, I don't know if it's a one shot.
Mm.
I don't know if it's just a temporary replacement until they can hire somebody new.
Yeah.
Or is Lillian back full time, which would be awesome.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's hilarious because Triple H always used to rib Lillian. So if he's bringing her back now that he's in control, that would be kind of a interesting dynamic. You know, maybe it's kind of an apology, like, "Hey, I'm sorry I gave you so much shit back in the day. Would you like your old job back?"
Oh my God! If they do that, they need to do a throwback of when she announced him as the former champ and he ran after her. They
Yeah,
need
that
to
was so
reenact that.
funny. That was so
Like,
funny.
I'm legit looking forward to tuning into Raw at the top of the hour to see if, in fact, she is ring announcing. And again, those of y'all in the chat room that are going to try and say, "Oh, she is," it's just a rumor.
Yeah, it is.
Until she walks on the screen and gives the first announcement, it's a rumor.
Yes.
Let's
know what?
wait until it's official
We live
at a
in
pure
this
style.
we live in this reality world and in reality TV. Why not make a show like you did Tough Enough and hire an announcer? Hell, Noah and I will audition shit.
Right?
Yeah, fair. Again, I think you know, as far as the actual like Samantha going anywhere, I say just let her live her life at this point. I'm hoping, you know, that she doesn't get into any more spats on social media. That's all I give a shit about at this point. I know I kind of like beat that drum like a broken record at this point, but that's my ultimate worry about that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see her cuck for her husband because her husband's getting into needless fights online, you know.
And I agree with my dad here. I think she just wants to see what other options are open for her.
Yeah. And that's the right way to do business.
You know, and again, she's getting up there in years. I say that, let me see real quick how old she is, because I know she's not like old, but she's also, you know, a female. And like, as chauvinistic as this may sound, there's a lot more restrictions on women than there are men. She's 35 years old.
Yep.
So, like I said, biological clock is ticking. She's got about another 5 years. And it's hard for women to break into the entertainment business when they're not young. And they can be molded by record companies, producers, A&R people, label executives. She's a steadfast 35-year-old. She's going to have her own opinions, how she wants to sound, how she wants to be produced, it's going to be a lot harder for her to try to jump into those waters and navigate at her age than it would be if you're an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 25-year-old.
Yep.
True. Very true.
Which overall, like, what a sad statement. I know it's true, but it's so sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And
God.
it is sad, but it's the facts, and we want to be honest about that stuff. That's why we call ourselves the only reliable SRS in pro wrestling, because we're honest about that stuff.
Yeah, true. I mean,
And Daniel, don't be worried about her doing an OnlyFans. If she wants to, that's her prerogative in life.
yes.
As long as Ricochet is okay with it, we need not give a fuck.
Does that mean we get...
You can subscribe to her page and see what content she puts out there, or you cannot subscribe to her page and let other people that want to see it see it. But as long as Trevor Mann, Ricochet, is okay with her doing that, him and God are the only ones that can judge her.
I guarantee you they start an OnlyFans, they troll everybody, and it's just that fucking picture. It's like fucking 999 pictures of the same ass selfie picture.
Right?
That would be the greatest prank of all time. I would actually respect that. That's my chaotic neutral of me coming out a little bit.
I'll break the bank, Matthew, if Lola starts one.
Oh yeah.
Let's not get Walter going on Lola Vice. Jesus.
Lola Vice for sure. Yeah. I'm hopeful that Samantha does well. That's all I hope, and I hope that she, has a good mentality about everything. That's all I care about.
Yeah, and for her own mentality, since Noah Foster, who's not here, he wanted to be here, but he's got to take like an hour and a half worth of buses to get home from work now. He said he wouldn't even get home till 7:45, and I'm hoping to be off the air long by then. But in the vein of mentality and everything, all I want is for Samantha to protect her mentality. Exactly. That's the one reason why I wouldn't want her to go to AEW. And it's not to shit on AEW or Tony Khan or any of the other performers over there. We do that enough on Saturday nights. But it seems like the AEW waters are polluted and toxic. And I don't want her to go over there and succumb to that mindset.
Yeah.
It's one thing for her to jump on social media and defend Ricochet. That's her man.
Yep.
Again, it goes back to stand by your man. That's a ride or die chick. I'm not going to hate on her for that. Mm-hmm. But if she jumps in the waters and then every tweet is something toxic, that's when we're going to have an issue with her and being there.
Yep.
If she can keep the mentality that she seems to have, the strong head on her shoulders, go over there, do ring announcing, I'm all about it, girl. Tony Khan seems to have no problem rolling up the Brinks truck to people's doors and just letting the money fall out the back of it.
Right.
Get paid. I ain't mad at you. Exactly. And it gets you back on a travel schedule with your man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But keep that mentality positive.
That's the most important thing right there. And the fact that she did it amicably and waited till her contract expire, the offers are gonna roll in regardless. She'll be good.
Yeah, and Safet with a valid point. She can even do the new RVD Katie Forbes thing, only wrestlers.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Which is supposed to be similar to OnlyFans, but it's not quite as X-rated from what I've heard. Oh. It's more about giving wrestlers the opportunity to connect with their fans. It's more like Cameo than it is OnlyFans.
Oh, well, that's
but it still gives you the subscription service like OnlyFans. Whereas a Cameo, it's a $30 one time. You get maybe a minute video from them, for a subscription fee, like you may pay an OnlyFans like $10 a month,
Oh,
$20 a month, whatever it is per wrestler. You get to message them, you get to communicate with them,
Ooh,
and that type of thing. So it
no.
opens them up to be able to have more interactivity with their fans
Oh, no.
for the subscription price without being as X-rated as OnlyFans.
It's
Okay,
rated R for wrestling.
see, this might be a problem. I already see a lot of problems with that.
That ain't the conversation piece.
Yeah.
We'll save that for shenanigans in a couple of weeks after the missed week. But
yeah.
to Safet's point, she can go on there because I doubt they were going to let WWE people go on there.
Right.
Now she can open up to all her fans, interact with them, communicate with them. She could probably make a good chunk of change doing that as well, without having to go the OnlyFans route,
Yeah, exactly.
which holds a more derogatory, aura about it because of what you can usually find on there.
Right. Yeah, I think the issue that I foresee, like the biggest one with her being able to maintain that positivity, is that eventually you just kind of succumb to, I gotta defend the company. Unless people like take a really hard stance in not doing so going forward. Like Hangman Page is one of them after what happened to that CM Punk superfan that flipped her off and he had to come to her defense because it's like, guys, what the fuck are we doing? And I don't think he's really commented much since, as far as I know, anyway. Same thing with Will Ospreay when he did that little dig on Triple H. Like eventually it happens, and I don't want to see that for Samantha. I think that's my biggest worry. I think that's everybody's biggest worry. Like to your point, JJ, like keep it positive, but how positive can you keep it when the owner of that company fosters that toxic environment that he so claims to hate? I mean,
agreed. But I mean, look at our circle here.
Yeah.
We always try to stay positive.
Yeah.
Me and you, more often than anybody else, tend to go down the dark path.
Yeah.
On occasion. Somehow Noah always seems to keep a cheerful disposition. It can be done. Except for karaoke nights. Then he turns into a dick. But that's one day a month. But the rest of the time, like
okay.
We usually get positive Noah as opposed to a negative Noah.
Well, to be fair though, he's also been negative because of this shit as well.
But not near as much as us is my point.
Yeah, but he I've heard
it would be more of a stand by your man, stand by your woman type of negativity from Noah.
Yeah.
As opposed to the way me and you get sometimes.
Yeah.
And to Matthew's point, they probably aren't going to replace Justin Roberts. So what is it they use her for? Backstage ring announcing? Then she's got to compete with Renee Paquette,
who's doing the best work.
It's like you replacing Renee, you replacing Roberts. You sending her to Ring of Honor? That's a demotion. No disrespect to the ROH brand, but going to NXT is better than ROH.
Yeah. I mean, when you consider the fact that when they had that head-to-head, all three of AEW shows could not even beat NXT in Nielsen rating. I don't care. We've said the Nielsen rating doesn't matter nearly as much, but yeah, folks, it is objectively, it's not subjective anymore. It is objectively a demotion. Like, no way. Like, no way. She can't just go to Ring of Honor and then be the fucking Ring of Announcer there. Especially with Bobby Cruise. Bobby Cruise takes up that fucking whole thing. He's been the ring announcer for Ring of Honor for years and probably will be for at least another few more. So that spot's taken up.
Collision may be a demotion too.
And Daniel says go to do it for TNA, but then you're taking a job away from Jade Chung, who's the wife of the Walking Weapon. I don't think you want Josh Alexander pissed at you.
No.
Although, it's like Jade Chung, I love Jade, don't get it twisted, but she does feel slightly uncomfortable out there compared to other ring announcers.
Yeah.
So I could see her, maybe stepping aside willingly for someone like Samantha. But again, no disrespect to TNA, no disrespect to Dattila or Noah or the avid Impact watchers. That's a bigger demotion than going to Ring of Honor. Because
it is.
Not as many people watch it. Access is such a hard channel to find.
Yeah.
That, I would almost bet you money. And I don't have money to bet, so no one out there try to take me up on this. But I would almost be willing to bet you money more people watch Impact on TNA Plus, the subscription service, than do on actual Access.
Yep. And a lot of that is due to Anthem being stupid.
I would think so too.
So it's like, and even when they had YouTube, more people were watching it on YouTube
than Access. Yeah.
So
more people were watching it on Twitch when it was around on Twitch than Access.
So it's like, and I don't, like I said, I don't want it to sound like I'm hating on TNA, but that's a bigger demotion than Ring of Honor.
Yep.
I mean, but again, then you get down to her only having to work 4 days a month.
That's true.
Is it worth it?
It is if you want outside opportunities and still want to be in the industry for sure.
For her mentality, it's better.
Yeah, and she doesn't just have to work TNA. She could also do the monthly shows for Maple Leaf Pro like recommended. Although,
right.
The worry there now, and we'll talk about this eventually, but it looks like that MLP is going to be a developmental brand for AEW. We'll get to that bridge when we come to it. Because that was
hopefully it's a developmental brand for both, because they had TNA and AEW talent on the show.
Which was nice, by the way, because I didn't think we were gonna get that TNA and AEW harmony there at all. Makes you wonder if they're kind of subtly teasing, is there more to this? But again, every time I say that, ego's getting away, so whatever.
I think it's less about Anthem and Tony Khan and more about Scott D'Amore.
Yeah, true. Maybe it's just everybody wants to support the guy, but
because you notice a lot of the people that were there on the TNA side were Scott D'Amore guys.
Yeah, well, they are. Yeah, not even quoted.
They were big people.
Guys.
Yeah, they were big supporters of Scott's.
Yeah, what was it? It was Athena versus Giselle Shaw was amazing, and so was Josh Alexander, and Konosuke Takeshita was out of this world good.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. I will say, man, hearing Mauro Ranallo's voice again is tremendous. So I feel like goddamn, thank God he's back. But that's why I say Samantha Irvin coming in for MLP and TNA, she would have a lot more freedom to still work the stuff she wants to work outside of wrestling, and she can make the dates for wrestling, because then it's not nearly as grueling of a fucking schedule. Yep. And apparently, according to Jimmy Jacobs, the AEW schedule is pretty demanding creatively. I doubt it is for ring announcing, but it's still 2 days a week, and you have to take a flight to the towns and all that. And whereas in TNA and MLP, you're two different
being in
places.
Vegas is a big metropolis. It's easy to get in and out of Vegas.
Yeah,
it's like LAX. It's like Dallas, Fort Worth. It's like JFK in New York. It's really easy.
Yeah,
to get in and out of Vegas Airport.
Yeah.
McCarran, I think it's called. I'm not sure if they changed the name of it.
Yeah, true.
But so that's definitely a plus side for her, And Tony's been pretty smart about the cities that he books.
Yeah.
In the fact that, Dynamite isn't in Detroit and then Collision is in Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's like he keeps them pretty centralized. Dynamite will be in Philadelphia and Collision will be in Pittsburgh. We'll keep it in the same state. That way it's just a drive instead of a flight.
Yeah. And for the record, Matt, Athena has been out of ROH Purgatory for quite a bit, at least on the Indies is concerned. I don't know if you saw the last match where we called Athena versus Masha Slamovich, which it was better than any right it had been, considering she had one leg. But
I think the point he's trying to make is that
Yeah.
she's rarely on AEW television. It's always on Ring of Honor television.
which is a huge problem to me. That is.
But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
To the people in the chat room, anything else that you guys would like to bring up regarding Samantha Irvin, her departure from WWE?
Yep.
Please put your thoughts in the comments. We'll try to go maybe another 3 to 8 minutes. I really want to try to be off by quarter till the top of the hour, so we've got plenty of time for those of us that are going to watch Raw. I know you're not, James, but me and Walter are.
Yes.
So, want to give us time to get ready for all that. Walter, anything else that you want to add on Samantha's departure while we wait for maybe some comments here?
Just that I as long as the most important thing is her own happiness, and with like you and Noah always say about protecting your mentality, like that's all that matters in the end is her happiness. And maybe you said maybe she wants to start a family and she's got enough money in the bank, pardon the bad wrestling pun, but she's got enough money in the bank to live off of it for a while, and her husband's still active, so he'll be making money. So it's
Yeah.
good to have choices and options. That's the best thing, and she's got tons of them.
That's cool. That's good points. Matthew says real quick before we go to James for final thoughts, if not Lillian, who do we see replacing Samantha? I don't know anybody out there that may be on like the indie scene that could be someone that could be a signing.
Yeah.
I would rather see Mike Rome back on Raw than bringing Alicia Taylor over, because Alicia Taylor is just going to look like a Samantha Irvin wannabe. You need to just leave her on SmackDown for right now. Let her be on her own brand.
Yep.
But the fact that she's tried so hard to copy Samantha's everything when it comes to her announcing, if you put her over on Raw, it's going to look like, the Wish version of Samantha Irvin.
I'd like Tony Chimmel to come back, to be honest. I always thought he was super underrated as an announcer.
I like Chimmel too, but Chimmel's got to be up there in years.
Yeah, true.
I like my idea. I would love if they did like an open audition for like, you're a fan of WWE, come try to be in Ring. And if they did something like that, like just think about the media attention it'll bring to WWE. Their eyes, like they're already a conglomerate. You get attention like that too.
Yeah,
You
good
could run it
PR.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, good PR. But the only issue with that is they'll get the dude that did the ring announcement for Chris Jericho back in 2K19 when they were promoting 2K19. That guy, so they might just get him. That's the only issue there.
I can't find Chimmel's age, but he is currently signed to AEW as a producer. So there's a problem with that right there.
What?
Yeah.
When?
Don't know.
Tony.
That's news to me.
That's another Tony. Does Tony just like to surround himself with Tonys? Tony Schiavone, Tony Chimmel, Tony Khan.
Yeah, it's like that group from the 90s, Tony.
That's a good faction. Goddamn. What the fuck? Tony Chimmel, producer?
I like Arlene's comment here. I think that's the perfect way to end this. Whoever it is, we need to give them a chance.
Yes.
And not boo them.
Yes.
We need to give them a chance. Joe Tessitore, great example. Came into Raw. Everyone was kind of, I don't know about you. First week, people were like, oh, he sucked. Second week, they were like, oh, he's gotten better. Third week, who was on commentary beforehand?
Mhm.
Like they're kind of settled into his flow and things now. You know, by a month in, it was like, dude, this guy's a perfect fit. How did we not have this guy before?
Right. Oh,
Just
Daniel with a hell of a shout, by the way. What's her name? The female
Shaul Guerrero.
Yeah, Shaul Guerrero would be a great shout. She did great in Lucha Underground for Ring
I
Announcer.
love Shaul, but from everything I've seen on social media, she has a lot of baggage. I don't know if you'd want to bring that in.
I know one thing I don't want them to do. Don't treat it like the GM and have a special guest every week. Please don't do that shit. And make it like different every. Hey, for shits and giggles, let the wrestlers announce themselves as a joke.
The gentleman, the ring announcer is Siri.
Shit,
Ring announcer's Plankton AI.
You know what? Hold on real quick. I just had a magnificent idea, and I just want to see something real quickly. 53. Okay, so kind of up there in age. What about bringing in Joey Styles?
Oh, they're not ever gonna. I don't even know if they're
Never say never.
back.
One.
Yeah,
Paul Heyman.
that's true.
Put him on SmackDown.
Yeah,
where the bloodline is.
Yeah,
Where Heyman will be.
True.
Put Rome on Raw. And then you've got Paul Heyman and Joey Styles back together.
So I think there might be one issue with that, although I don't know how much of an issue it might be, considering, the recent political affiliations with Taker. He did the last time we saw Joey Styles on anything, he was on an Evolved show, and he did a line about Trump. I don't even think he's a Trump guy, by the way, but he did a Trump line or compared it to Trump, and he got super canceled for it, bad.
Gotcha. Matthew says, why not bring back JoJo? Or do you think people would think that it's just a sympathy thing for Bray?
That's if she wants to do it. Remember, she's taking care of all them kids alone now.
Yeah, I was about to say, and I think the Godfather, I think, is Braun Strowman, and he's the one, I think, making the bread for the family, for shoot. So, I don't think JoJo, considering how recent that was, I doubt she wants to come back into anything wrestling right now, and I wouldn't blame her.
I mean, if there was a way that they could do it and it would only be for Raw, only be for SmackDown, I'd be sold on that, because that would be 4, maybe 5 days a week or a month. Yeah. Excuse me.
And you know what? Believe it or not, though, that might be therapeutic for her. It may be what she needs, to be honest.
Yeah, let her be around the new Wyatt 6, which is an extension of the Bray family. Bo Dallas, let her do that, and then just let Mike Rome stay on NXT, let Alicia do SmackDown, and let Alicia or Rome do the PLEs. But just let her, that way she doesn't have to do house shows. She doesn't have to do nothing but the Raws every week where her family is, essentially. Braun is on Raw. Bo is on Raw. The Wyatts are on Raw. And you can kind of keep her around those people. It's a thought. I hadn't thought about her because she was pretty much an announcer during my hiatus.
Yeah. The only thing that makes me put it this way: wait until she wants to, because that's something that you have to be mentally prepared for yourself.
Agreed.
I don't think she can handle it right now, if I'm being honest.
Agreed.
And I don't blame her.
Agreed, and maybe so, but we wouldn't know unless someone extends a hand.
That's true.
It could just be a case of Paul, Triple H, giving her a call and be like, hey, we have this opportunity. If you think you can handle it, it's yours. Exactly. If you don't think you can handle it, we completely understand. The door is open whenever you feel like you want to again. But here's this opportunity. If you would like it, you're at the top of the list. And that might warm her heart to know that she's being thought of in that way.
Yeah.
We're thinking of all these great situations. Watch it be like freaking Byron Saxon or something stupid. We don't.
God damn it! Don't jinx it, Walter.
Yeah, fucking Byron. Please don't be Byron. Please.
Well, there's nothing wrong with Byron, but
no, he's a good person, but he's not.
But he's not Lillian. He's not Chimmel.
Dude, he's not
any
even
of the other
close.
names that we listed.
Bro.
You know who? Okay, I'm going to make this one last haha just because he had to go there with Byron Saxon. And I wish I could reach through and smack you, Walter. Let it be Coach.
Yeah, Coach, I could see doing a really good job, actually. Got the energy for it.
God damn it. Matthew had to go kill it saying it's going to be Brandy Rhodes.
Brandy's a good shout, though. Brandy's actually a good shout because she used to do ring announcing.
Shit's a giggle joke. Bring back Mr. Kennedy and let him be a ring announcer with that. Bring down the microphone and do that.
Okay.
That actually would be cool.
We're getting out of hand here. We're starting to spiral like the shenanigans, dude. James, do you have any last thoughts that you want to add to the Samantha Irvin situation?
I hope that Samantha Irvin does very good, and I hope she has mental. I hope she does very good for her mentality. I also say that the person who should now replace him, because he now gave me the idea, I'm going to go along this line, Scott Steiner. White trash and rednecks!
250 pounds of pure garbage.
Straight out of Dunkin' Donuts, Team 3D! That'll be a good. He's got my vote.
Damn it, James, you freaking idiot.
There you go. There's the one.
As far as me, much like has been discussed over the last almost hour, and again, thank you to everybody who's joined us, popped in and out. We've got over 10 of you right now watching for something that was thrown together last minute impromptu. Greatly appreciate that. But yeah, whatever she decides to do when she wakes up in the morning on October 22nd, 2024, and every day with the rest of her life, I just hope it's something that makes her happy. Forget about making her money. I hope it's something that makes her happy. And if she can make money while being happy, double the pleasure right there. Whatever it is, whatever avenue she decides to pursue in life. She wants to try to get a job with like the Royal Philharmonic playing her flute. Go get it, girl. Yes. You want to try to get a job in the music industry, being a kick-ass singer? Go get it, girl. You want to stay in the wrestling business and go to TNA, AEW, Maple Leaf Pro? Hell, Mission Pro. Go working for Thunder Rosa once a month. Go get it, girl. But whatever it is you decide to do, make sure it makes you happy.
And don't be a cuck for your husband on Twitter.
There you go. So, again, we want to thank all of you guys for joining us and tuning in for this impromptu discussion about Samantha Irvin departing WWE. For Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz, for the He-Man James Hebert, I am the Renegade of Wrestling JJ Williams, and we will catch you guys next time.